This page is the cover of Saturn Fan Magazine, issue number 17, from September 12, 1997. It proudly showcases some of the most anticipated and iconic titles for the console at the time. Front and center are massive features on Super Robot Wars, F, Lunar, Eternal Blue, Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Greed, Grandia, and the Dungeon Crawler Baroque. The cover art itself is a fantastic ensemble of characters from these games, hinting at the deep RPG and strategy experiences within. Prominently displayed at the bottom is the title, Shining Force 2 Eyes, signifying a major feature on the latest entry in this beloved tactical RPG series. Other intriguing titles mentioned include Yuno, a girl who chants love at the edge of the world with an original artwork scoop, Neon Genesis Evangelion Digital Card Library, Azel, likely Panzer Dragoon Saga, the baseball title, Greatest 997, and Make Miracle. The issue also boasts a full feature on Especially, and includes a variable sticker. This cover perfectly captures the diverse and high-quality lineup the Sega Saturn offered in its prime. This page is an incredibly vibrant and dynamic two-page spread, presented in a high-energy comic book style under the banner, EMI Toons presents Future and Retro Issue Number 1 featuring Sega Saturn. The theme is Summer, Towards the Sea of Games, perfectly capturing the excitement of the season's releases. The artwork is packed with stylized characters and action scenes, surrounding panels that showcase screenshots of several key Sega Saturn titles. You'll see previews of the acclaimed 2D action RPG Princess Crown, the popular platformer Mega Man X4, the strategic mecha crossover Super Robot Wars F, a major title also featured on the previous cover, the adventure game Virus, and the racing/simulation title Full Cow Mini 4WD, Super Factory. The spread effectively uses its bold visual style to highlight the diverse range of games available for the console. It captures the spirit of the time, presenting these titles with an almost chaotic but exciting artistic flair. There's also mention of the Sega Saturn Festa event at Joyopolis, and a reassuring note that what doesn't disappoint are Saturn's software. This page features a dramatic two-page spread dedicated to Samurai Showdown IV, Amakusa's Revenge on the Sega Saturn. The artwork is striking, dominated by a large, intense depiction of the series' main antagonist, Amakusa, alongside other prominent characters. The page announces that Amakusa is resurrected and returning in this new installment for the Sega Saturn. Character portraits from the game's roster are showcased vertically, highlighting the diverse cast of fighters. The overall presentation is dynamic and emphasizes the dark and epic tone of the fighting game. The Sega Saturn version of Samurai Showdown IV, Amakusa's Revenge, is confirmed to be scheduled for release on October 2nd, although the price is listed as undecided at the time of printing. This spread effectively builds anticipation for the game's arrival on the console, promising fans a return to the world of Samurai Showdown with its signature weapon-based combat and powerful characters. This page kicks off with a striking look at Mech Warrior 2 for the Sega Saturn, showing off a formidable battle mech and announcing a September release for 5,800 yen. It highlights the game's immersive 3D cockpit, high-quality graphics, and compelling sound that brings the futuristic battlefield to life as players fight for honor in their massive machines. The right side serves as the magazine's table of contents, packed with features and previews. Anticipation is high for big titles like Super Robot Wars features, and a major preview for Shining Force 2 I. Other key games covered include Azel, Panzer Dragoon RPG, the fighting game powerhouse Dead or Alive, the continuation of the Samurai Showdown saga with Amakusa's Revenge, and strategy and simulation games like Grandia and J-League Pro Soccer Club Otsukuru 2. There are also sections dedicated to new game introductions, strategy guides for titles like The Last Bronx, and regular features covering rankings and industry news. The cover image shown is Lunar, Eternal Blue, giving a nod to other highly anticipated RPGs of the time. This page focuses on Victor's twin-operator peripheral for the Sega Saturn, a device that enables the console to play video crids and photo crids. It plugs directly into the cartridge slot, offering improved operation and compatibility with both NTSC and PAL formats, plus various playback options. A key feature highlighted is its MPEG compatibility, which allows for higher quality animation and video playback in supported games, showcased with screenshots comparing standard and MPEG visuals. The peripheral is priced at 18,000 yen. The page also lists several Sega Saturn games that utilize MPEG compatibility for enhanced video sequences, including Lunar, Silver Star Story MPEG version, Moon Cradle, Battle Balancer, Kaigen Dead Heat plus Real Arrange, and Sakura Wars Hanagumi Communications. A teaser section announces the revival of a legendary RPG, The Legend of Heroes 2i, coming to Saturn in November. Additionally, there is a brief advertisement for Falcom Classics, a compilation title featuring a special edition with bonus content. This page features a split spread highlighting two very different games. On the left is Wiz, an action game starring a charming tuxedo rabbit who finds himself dropped into a magical world by his rivals. Players must guide Wiz, hopping and jumping in all directions to collect items and escape the funky enemies blocking his path, all while trying to return to his own world. Screenshots show vibrant, colorful platforming environments. This title is set for an August release on Sega Saturn, priced at 5,800 yen. The right side dives into the dark, surreal world of Darkseid 2, a point-and-click adventure known for its striking visuals based on the terrifying artwork of H.R. Giger. The story follows the protagonist falling head over heels into a nightmare, resurrected from darkness, embroiled in a murder case, and the invasion of the dark world. Players must unravel the mysteries, confronting ancient gods in a battle for survival, with the stunningly disturbing Giger art showcased in the screenshots. Darkseid 2 is also scheduled for an August release on Sega Saturn, priced at 5,800 yen. This page begins the final countdown for Super Robot Wars Phi, highlighting its impending release in just 27 days. This entry is touted as having the most captivating charms in the series, a bold claim backed by promises of immense volume and significant improvements. The content emphasizes a massive scenario volume, weaving together real robot and super robot storylines for over 100 total episodes, with a single playthrough easily exceeding 60. Each scenario is said to have increased in size, contributing to the overall bulk. The character roster is the largest yet, integrating popular new series like Space Runaway Ideon, Gunbuster, and Neon Genesis Evangelion, alongside a vast collection of returning favorites. Screenshots showcase expressive pilot portraits during dialogue and battle. Battle scene presentation sees a major upgrade, with scaled-up graphics, refined weapon effects, and highly detailed unit models. The music aims to capture the feel of the original anime, enhancing the atmosphere. The game systems are described as refined and improved for better playability, including changes to the map and status screens. Brand new CG movies faithful to the source material are also included, adding spectacle. Overall, the page conveys excitement for Super Robot Wars Phi, positioning it as a definitive title in the series, with unprecedented scale and polish across story, characters, and presentation. This Super Robot Wars Phi page details the Super Robot route, contrasting with the real robot path. The narrative begins with Episode 1's Mazinger Z vs. Getter Robobot conflict over the Photon Power Laboratory. Episode 2 sees Getter Robobot entangled with Dr. Hell's forces, while investigating a mysterious crater. A key highlight is the intense Getter 1 vs. Getter Dragon battle. The later episodes introduce the Dankuga team and their unique abilities. Screenshots showcase iconic mechs and characters, including Mazinger Z, Getter Robovig, and Dankuga pilots, alongside anime movie clips. The dynamic story keeps players engaged throughout. This page continues the Super Robot route coverage for Super Robot Wars Phi, delving into later scenarios. Episode 3 focuses on Benkei's intense special training, which culminates in Getter Dragon mastering the powerful Daikasan Orochi attack. The narrative then shifts in Episode 4 to the arrival of Daba My Road and the characters from Heavy Metal LGAIM on Earth, soon followed by the attacking Poseidon military. Screenshots show key moments, Benkei's training sequences with Getter Dragon, Daba's arrival, and battles featuring LGAIM units against generic Zaku-like mechs. The story progresses with the party meeting Katsuya and Lulu from the Troy Horse, who quickly join the fight against the Poseidon forces, bringing mobile suits like G-Guns and G-Defensors into the fray. A major highlight is the dramatic entrance of Doman Kashu and the Shining Gundam. Although treated as a non-player character in this particular scenario, Doman demonstrates incredible power, easily defeating enemies. The page features screenshots of Doman in action, showcasing his dynamic fighting style and signature moves. Rain Mikamura also appears alongside Doman. The summary emphasizes Doman's strength and his impact on the unfolding events. This page presents an urgent special report on the joint production press conference held by Sega, Sonic, and Camelot, announcing the latest entry in the beloved Shining series for the Sega Saturn, Shining Force 2i. Sega is positioning Shining Force 2i as a flagship title for the year-end sales battle. Development is being handled through a collaboration between Sonic and Camelot, bringing together the legendary Takahashi brothers, who were instrumental in the series' origins on the Genesis. A major reveal is that Shining Force 2i will be released as a multi-part saga, specifically confirmed to be 3 distinct scenarios. The developers explain that this approach allows for a deeper, more complex story and character development across the interconnected narratives, providing significant volume and replayability. The game is described as evolving its combat system from tactical engagements to more strategic warfare. The team has also incorporated 3 new technologies, including accelerated CD access and real-time texture processing via a dedicated DSP chip, promising enhanced graphics and effects, particularly for magic and environment details like water. Attendees had the chance to experience a playable room demo. The report highlights the improved 3D graphics, smooth camera transitions between exploration and battle maps, and the refined combat system. The overall impression is that the game is steadily evolving towards a polished final product, focusing on strategic depth and immersive presentation. This page reports on the press conference announcing Shining Force 2i for Sega Saturn, highlighting its 3-part story, evolved strategy combat, and new technology. Shining Force 2's new polygon-based visuals are highlighted, showcasing detailed environments. Outdoor areas, like a rope bridge over a chasm, and dynamic elements like a boat are emphasized. Floating towns with unique structures suggest advanced technology. Urban areas are depicted with detailed buildings and interiors, boasting improved camera control. The battle system features fully modeled characters with motion-captured animations, showcasing dynamic attacks and impressive magic effects, all enhanced by improved real-time processing. The reviewer praises the improved dynamism and impact of the combat visuals. This page delves into the mechanics and characters of Shining Force 2i. It introduces the ambitious synchronicity system, explaining how the game's 3 distinct scenarios, each following a different main character and faction, the Republic, the Empire, and the third scenario's group, are interconnected. Decisions and actions in one scenario can profoundly affect the others, with progress saved using the Saturn's backup memory, creating a dynamic and intertwined narrative, unlike the more linear structure of previous titles like the Shining Force Gaiden series, localized as Shining Force CD. The article also highlights the significant graphical leap for the series. Moving beyond the 2D pixel art of earlier games, Shining Force 2 utilizes full 3D polygon environments and incorporates co-rendered characters, building upon technology seen in Shining Wisdom. Screenshots compare the traditional top-down view of older titles with the new, more dynamic 3D perspective, showcasing detailed outdoor areas and structures, emphasizing the increased visual immersion. Finally, the page introduces the main characters from Scenario 1, focusing on the Republic side. We meet Synbios, the young lord and main protagonists, alongside key allies like Mescorin, an elf mage and close friend, Dontars, a loyal centaur knight, and Grace, a focusing friend of Mescorin. The section also teases the perspective shift in Scenario 2, where players will control Medion, a prince from the opposing Destonia Empire, setting the stage for the complex political drama central to the game. This page announces the updated release of Sega's baseball sim, Greatest 997, subtitled, Make Miracle. The big news is the addition of the 1997 Pennant Mode, which promises an ultimate seasonal experience using the most up-to-date player and team data, reflecting the real-life pennant race as it unfolds. This mode even incorporates a Baseball World Topics feature that dynamically adds events like trades, injuries, and player returns into the game, keeping the season feeling current. While the core gameplay remains solid, the game enhances the experience with numerous new features. A major highlight is the inclusion of a special OB, Old Boys, team featuring 35 legendary retired players from Japanese baseball history, allowing for dream matchups against current teams. Presentation improvements are also noted, with refined player visuals and motions, an enhanced batting lock-on system, and new dynamic camera angles, including exciting views for home runs and plays at the plate. Popular returning modes like the home run contest and the detailed team edit mode ensure plenty of options for players. This update looks set to bring the thrill of the 1997 season and Dream Team possibilities to Sega Saturn. This page dives into Neon Genesis Evangelion, digital card library for the Sega Saturn. It's a unique title that takes the popular trading card concept and brings it into a digital format, allowing fans to collect cards featuring characters, EVAs, and scenes from the hit anime series. The page features prominent artwork of the main cast like Shinji, Asuka, Rei, Misato, and Kayuji, alongside screenshots showing the game's interface. The core gameplay revolves around collecting these digital cards, aiming to complete the entire set to fully experience the world of Evangelion. A key way to acquire cards is by playing various mini-games included in the game, which the page shows examples of, like a mini-game titled Battle of Men. As you collect cards, you unlock the ability to watch corresponding movie clips from the TV anime. The game offers options for viewing these clips, including prioritizing image quality or screen size. This combination of card collection, mini-games, and video playback provides a rich experience for Evangelion enthusiasts on the Saturn. This page details the variety of mini-games featured in Neon Genesis Evangelion, digital card library on the Sega Saturn. These minigames are crucial for players looking to expand their digital card collection. Several distinct games are highlighted, each inspired by events or themes from the anime. Players can engage in a shooting game against the Angel Ramiel, in Decisive Battle, Neo Tokyo 3, tackle puzzle-based challenges like the 15th Candidate and the Sickness Unto Death, which use scrambled episode title screens, or try thematic games such as After Drinking at Night involving Misato and beer, Battle of Men with Gendo Ikari, The Thing Made by Man centered around the Jet Alone incident, and Magma Diver, where you control Asuka's EVA Unit O2 navigating lava. Screenshots are provided for each, showing the diverse gameplay styles tied to specific, recognizable moments from the series, making earning cards an enjoyable experience for fans. This page presents a dynamic preview of Panzer Dragoon Saga, known in Japan as a Tazel Panzer Dragoon RPG, focusing on two key characters and a core game mechanic as they explore the secrets of the old world. We are introduced to Payet, a 20-year-old researcher with extensive knowledge of the ancient civilization, despite being perceived as simple. The other character is Gash, a 28-year-old member of the Seekers, a group of tomb raiders. Gash, nicknamed Shadow Eye, is depicted as a hardened individual, scarred and wearing a mask made from old world parts, who lost his arm fighting the Empire and bioengineered creatures. The page highlights the lock-on communication system, LCS, described as an evolution of the lock-on feature from previous Panzer Dragoon titles, allowing players to interact with the environment and objects in various ways, from investigation and destruction to accessing areas. Screenshots showcase impressive creatures, characters like Gash and Edge in locations such as the village once called Kainas, and examples of the LCS in action targeting ancient monuments. A table provides game data details, but the focus remains on these key characters and the innovative system driving the exploration of Panzer Dragoon Saga's rich world. This page delves deeper into the lock-on communication system, LCS, in Panzer Dragoon Saga, explaining its different functions based on context. During dragon flight and movement, there are 4 types of LCS actions, shown through screenshots of targeting enemies and objects. These include standard actions, access for interacting with save points or accessing data, break for destroying obstacles like destructible terrain or specific parts of objects, and caution for interacting with strange or potentially dangerous elements that might trigger events. The page then transitions to explain how LCS works in towns, or, when exploring on foot, where distance from the target is crucial. Here, the LCS primarily changes between far and near. Targeting objects or people from a distance shows the far state, indicating limited information or interaction. Approaching the target changes the LCS to near, allowing for closer inspection or direct interaction, such as conversation. The example of checking out a fat man in town illustrates this concept, showing how getting close allows for dialogue, while keeping distance only allows for observation. The LCS icon visually changes depending on the target's distance and the potential action. This page shifts gears entirely to baseball management with Pro Yaku Team Otsukuru, which translates to, "Let's make a pro baseball team." This game puts you in the shoes of an owner, aiming to build a championship team and lead them to become the top club in Japan. The game details begin with creating your own team. You can register as the owner and choose your team from the 12 existing NPB, Nippon Professional Baseball, teams, or even create a new one. You select your team's name and location from over 500 potential home grounds across Japan. Gameplay involves managing your team day-to-day throughout the season. The game cycle includes training camps, draft meetings, player acquisitions, like free agents, contract renewals, and managing the overall operations. You can choose your annual training camp location, such as Hawaii or Australia, which impacts player growth differently depending on the funds allocated. The season progresses through open games, the regular pennant race from April to October, and hopefully, the playoffs. You can watch games unfold and give instructions, or let the simulation handle it. Results are shown via broadcast screens featuring different sports channels. The page also includes comments from a baseball expert who supervised the game's development, emphasizing the goal of creating a realistic yet enjoyable experience that allows players to build their dream team and experience the ups and downs of baseball management. The visuals feature cute, chibi-style character models and menu interfaces, showing various management options. This page previews Sega's wrestling game, tentatively titled Virtua featuring All Japan Pro Wrestling. The core of the game highlighted here is the featuring mode, where players can create their own wrestler and guide them through a career in the All Japan Pro Wrestling promotion. Character creation offers detailed customization, including choosing from 15 different costumes, allowing for unique looks, even the creation of masked wrestlers. Players set their wrestler's age, sports background, and even take a psychological test, which helps define their in-ring personality and starting attributes. Naming options include first and middle names. The goal in featuring mode is clear: climb the ranks and aim for the prestigious Triple Crown Heavyweight Championship. Players participate in the promotion's annual series, including the Challenging Champion Carnival, facing off against real All Japan Pro Wrestling legends like Johnny Ace. Winning matches earns you popularity and points to learn new skills. The game aims for realism, mentioning motion-captured movements for the characters. Success in the ring can even lead to being featured in wrestling publications like Tokyo Sports, boosting your fame. It's a deep career simulation focused on building your created star into a champion. This page features previews for two distinct Sega Saturn titles. On the left, we get a look at Let's Make a Pro Soccer Club 2. This entry in the simulation series highlights the enhanced commentary team, featuring former Japanese national team players Kazushi Kimura and Masahiro Mizunuma, aiming to make the match scenes more exciting. New gameplay features include a replay function for goals and detailed environmental effects, like water splashes during rainy games. There's also a hint about accessing game information within a virtual office environment, adding to the simulation depth. The right side introduces Astra Superstars, a unique 2D fighting game from Sunsoft, the studio behind the popular Waku Waku 7. This title is billed as a floating battle, emphasizing airborne combat among its colorful cast of characters. A brief story outlines the premise: the beautiful Astra world and its inhabitants who can fly, created by the deity Kama-sama, leading to a conflict to win the lucky star. The game promises fast-paced, fantastical battles. This page continues the preview for Astra Superstars, focusing on its gameplay concept, controls, techniques, and introducing two characters. The main theme highlighted is, easy operation leads to deep battles, emphasizing that anyone can enjoy the game due to simple controls, while skilled players can utilize complex tactics. The game features high-level techniques, accessible even with straightforward inputs. Techniques shown include the Yarara reversal, which allows players to bounce off the wall after being hit, and Mawari Komi, a move to get behind the opponent. Screenshots demonstrate a high combo count, 42 hits combo, and the visual cues for these special moves like the wall bounce and the turn behind maneuver. Two characters are profiled: Lettuce and Maron. Lettuce is described as a cool-looking yet passionate adventurer and the no-one hero of his land. Maron is an idol described as cheerful and energetic, helping others with the power of love, and an angel from the Sky Shrine. Brief personal data for each character is included, such as origin, occupation, age, height, and weight. Screenshots accompanying their profiles show them performing signature moves, like Lettuce firing an energy projectile, and Maron unleashing a Cupid's arrow attack. Astra Superstar's Star Gauge system fuels powerful special techniques. Filling the gauge activates Super Mode, speeding up attack recovery for relentless combos. Star Special, character-specific super moves. are unlocked with a full gauge. The game introduces 6 new characters: Foolie, Gangster; Sakamoto, Detective; Rouge, Child with Christmas theme; Stella, Witch; Coco, Prince; and Cupe, Fighter. Screenshots showcase their unique movesets, emphasizing visual flair and intense combat. Star Shards accelerate gauge filling. This page dives into the unique simulation game, Gaia Breeder. Set in a future devastated by natural disaster, players take on the role of a wealthy individual tasked with restoring nature and ecosystems in a giant garden. The core mechanic involves using a special creature called a Mubi to travel to the past and collect Draina from extinct animals. Screenshots showcase the process: building the environment with various objects like trees and rocks, selecting animals from the collected Draina to place in your garden, approaching animals in the past to gather their genetic material, and viewing details about the creatures. The game emphasizes creating a balanced ecosystem where animals can thrive. There's also a competitive element, where players enter their gardens into the Gaia Breeder Championship to achieve high rankings. The ranking chart shows the results of the Elementary Cup, highlighting different players and their points. The ultimate goal is to become a master breeder by successfully cultivating a thriving natural paradise and winning competitions. Formula Grand Prix 1997, a Sega Saturn F1 team management sim, challenges players to build a championship-winning team from scratch. Beyond driving, players manage every aspect, from driver selection and sponsorship to meticulous car development, chassis, engine, etc. Pre-race preparation is crucial, including track analysis, car testing, and pit crew training. The game emphasizes strategic decision-making over raw speed, highlighting the importance of driver positioning and smart management. Real-world figures like Alain Prost add to the authenticity, offering a deep dive into Fry-1 team operations. This page delves into the details of the upcoming Sega Saturn game, DJ Wars. It highlights the game's unique story mode, which blends DJ battles with RPG elements, tasking players with conquering 9 clubs across 3 areas and defeating the reigning DJ Kings. The mode emphasizes practice, staying updated on popular music, and developing skills to become the strongest DJ. The page also showcases the 5 distinct playable characters available, offering a range of personalities and styles from cool and serious to wild and fashionable. An interview with the game's producer, Mr. Takaki, provides insight into the development process, touching upon the challenges of combining DJ simulation with an RPG structure and aiming for an intuitive yet deep experience that captures the essence of DJing. Finally, there's a photo report showing Mr. Takaki demonstrating his personal DJ style. This page explores the latest entry in the popular fighting series, Samurai Showdown IV, Amakusa's Revenge. The article breaks down key changes and additions to the gameplay systems, building upon the foundation of the previous title. A major focus is placed on the revised rage gauge system and powerful new techniques introduced, such as the chain slash, Renzan, and the devastating one-strike, Isen. Screenshots feature intense battles between iconic characters like Haomaru, Nakoru, Galford, and Hanzo, demonstrating these new mechanics in action. The rage gauge now offers strategic choices upon activation, allowing players to unleash rapid, continuous attacks like the chain slash, potentially reaching a high hit count, or a single, impactful one-strike technique. The article notes that careful timing and use of these abilities are crucial for victory, adding significant depth to the combat and encouraging aggressive play. Small adjustments to recovery and guard mechanics are also highlighted as part of the overall system refinements. This page continues the deep dive into Samurai Showdown IV, Amakusa's Revenge, focusing heavily on the new chain-slash system first introduced on the previous page. It illustrates the potential of this technique by showing a sequence of screenshots demonstrating a chain-slash reaching up to 14 hits. The article highlights the strategic advantages of the chain-slash, discussing how it can interact with the rage gauge for enhanced effects and its cancelable nature, allowing for varied and powerful combo possibilities. Beyond the mechanics, the page introduces some of the game's diverse roster. 5 characters are featured, 3 fan favorites making a return, and 2 brand new fighters. Returning characters showcased with their character art and screenshots include the formidable swordsman Yagyu Jubei, the elegant French knight Charlotte Christine Cold, and the masked warrior Tam Tam. Joining them are the entirely new ninja brothers, Kazuki Kazama, the fiery hothead, and Sogetsu Kazama, his cool, water-controlling sibling. Visuals provide a glimpse into their unique styles and special moves, promising a rich selection of characters to master in this latest entry. This page gives us a first look at Enix's venture into 3D polygon action with Ninpen Manmaru. This title brings the world of the popular manga and anime series by Mikio Igarashi to life. Players take control of Manmaru, a lovable ninja penguin, in a game set in a charming yet peculiar world populated by a variety of ninja animals. The article showcases the game's cast, highlighting the main character Manmaru, his brothers, Master, and other eccentric ninja friends. We also get a glimpse of the characters rendered as 3D polygon models. The screenshots reveal the core gameplay involves navigating Manmaru through vibrant 3D mountain environments filled with platforming challenges. Expect to be running and jumping across varied terrain, needing to watch out for numerous traps and obstacles scattered throughout the levels as you complete your ninja missions. It looks like a fun, light-hearted adventure featuring characters straight from the source material. This page introduces Solo Crisis, the first Sega Saturn title from developer Quintet. This strategic simulation game depicts a grand war between gods and demons, taking place on a unique dual-sided world, with a surface ruled by gods and an underside belonging to demons. Players command the forces of the gods, building settlements, expanding their territory, and engaging the demonic presence. Two central strategic elements are highlighted: using miracles and deciphering monster tales. Miracles are divine powers that can manipulate the land itself, causing geological changes like raising or sinking terrain, bringing rain, or transforming withered land. These powers require faith, which grows as players build houses and increase their population. Deciphering monster tales, the language of the demons, provides crucial tactical information. By listening to conversations in the demon world, players can uncover enemy weaknesses, understand their plans, and gain an advantage in battle. The monster language is described as having a structure akin to hieroglyphics, with elements representing core ideas and details. The game also features an opening CG movie that details the backstory and the origins of the conflict. This page delivers a special report on a new scenario for the Sega Saturn sound novel, Machi, titled Schrodinger's Hand. This scenario is a stark departure from previous stories, plunging the protagonist, author Ichikawa Bunsei, into a world of psycho-horror, madness, and delusions. The content details Ichikawa's struggles, including his reliance on alcohol and sleeping pills, and his belief that someone is tampering with his work while he sleeps. Unsettling visions and messages from a mysterious culprit plagued him, depicted through disturbing imagery like a mouth filled with wires. The report highlights the game's unique lock-end system, where actions in one protagonist's story can trigger a lock-end in another's, requiring players to rewind time and make different choices to proceed. An example is shown from the horse scenario, where a choice about cake leads to a bad end. This scenario promises a dark and disturbing dive into psychological horror for Machi players. This page announces the Sega Saturn port of the popular PC dating simulation game, Hukago Renai Club, After School Love Club. The original game focused on friendly conversations with the heroines at a family restaurant that serves as the club's base. The player becomes a member and interacts with 12 different girls, able to talk to up to 3 per day, potentially leading to dates if conversations go well. The Saturn version is set to enhance the experience with the addition of anime scenes and voice acting for the characters. The page features a prominent illustration of 2 of the main characters, along with several smaller screenshots showing the game's interface, including conversation windows and character portraits. An interview with the development staff from Libido and Sunsoft discusses the challenges and goals of bringing the game to the Saturn. They talk about preserving the game's core appeal, which lies in the unique personalities of the 12 heroines and the realistic portrayal of relationships. They detail the technical adjustments made for the Saturn, such as handling graphics and resolution differences compared to the PC, and the effort put into adding expressive animation and voice performances to deepen the emotional impact of the conversations. Photos of key development staff members are also included. The next page features the fighting simulation game, Tactical Fighter, where the player takes on the role of training a young girl, Hitomi, over a 3-year period to become a powerful fighter. The goal is to win the dark martial arts tournament to save her father. The page highlights the simulation aspect, showing how player choices in training and activities influence Hitomi's growth and abilities. Different paths lead to varied outcomes, with the game emphasizing character development and multiple endings. Screenshots depict the training environments, like weightlifting, alongside daily life scenes. Tactical Fighter also features combat against various rivals in different martial arts styles, including karate, boxing, and rhythmic gymnastics. The fighting is described as automatic once training determines the outcome, focusing the player's interaction on the simulation and preparation phase. The page includes developer interviews, discussing the concept of combining character-raising simulation with fighting gameplay. They touch on the game's graphics, highlighting the detailed character sprites and the variation in character expressions and details, such as the ribbon color of the main character, Hitomi, which changes depending on her mood or condition. The developers emphasize the importance of player freedom in guiding Hitomi's development, and the satisfaction of seeing her grow and succeed. The next page expands on Tactical Fighter, the training and fighting simulation game, where you guide a young girl to become a champion. It showcases the diverse cast of beautiful female fighters you'll encounter, and mentions the dramatic storyline and the impressive voice acting lineup, emphasizing the game's unique blend of character development through simulation and command-based combat. Alongside this, the page introduces Missing Universal Nuts, a space adventure game set to release in autumn 1997. This title promises a mysterious journey in the depths of space, featuring innovative systems like the Holder system for clue management and a recollection mode. Screenshots display character portraits, hinting at the narrative-driven gameplay and interactions you'll experience in this cosmic mystery. This page introduces the Sega Saturn simulation RPG Ronde, published by Atlas and scheduled for release in autumn 1997. This title will come on 2 cd-ROMs and retail for 6,800 yen before tax. The character designs are handled by Kazuaki Yanagisawa. The page features the striking title logo, prominently displaying the game's name in both English and Japanese, and includes several character illustrations across the bottom, giving a glimpse of the diverse cast players will encounter in this tactical role-playing adventure. This page showcases Asuka, 120% Burning Fest Limited, a high-energy fighting game making its way to the Sega Saturn. The page features a large, dynamic illustration of one of the game's characters, hinting at the anime-inspired art style. Prominent text asks, "How far will they go? A girl fighting game," emphasizing the all-female cast who gather for a fierce tournament. Several screenshots display intense gameplay action, showing off the vibrant visuals and special moves characteristic of the series. The game promises fierce battles and a large roster of fighters competing in a mega fight tournament. It is slated for a September 1997 release by Ask Kodansha, retailing for 5,800 yen. This entry appears to be an updated or enhanced version of the popular Asuka 120% series, known for its fast-paced combat and unique character designs. The next page presents 2 distinct software offerings for the Sega Saturn. On the left, you'll find Universal Collection 97, a comprehensive patch-a-slot simulation game. This title bundles 8 popular patch-a-slot machines from Universal Group onto one disc, catering to fans who want to experience the thrill of the parlor at home. It aims to replicate the realistic action of these machines and offers a complete strategy guide experience. The game was scheduled for release on September 18, 1997. The bottom left also includes a small mention of the Tokyo Game Show 97 autumn event. On the right, a fascinating and unique simulation game is showcased, Gaia Breeder. This title challenges players to create a wild paradise on their own land for resurrected ancient animals. Using a peculiar pink creature called Mubi to mold the terrain, you travel through time to collect extinct species and populate your world. The gameplay revolves around managing these animals, ensuring their survival by providing food and water, and maintaining a balanced ecosystem, even dealing with natural disasters like volcanic eruptions. Success in breeding and maintaining your diverse animal population is judged, with the ultimate goal of becoming a master breeder. It's a truly ambitious concept, blending creation, simulation, and time travel. Gaia Breeder was planned for a late November 1997 release. This page features an exciting tease for an upcoming RPG on the left and tournament news on the right. The left side showcases a cracked egg with an adorable creature hatching, accompanied by the text, "Sierra Pioneer," and "Forever and Ever, Let's Play." Below the egg, it explicitly states, 1998 Spring. A very interesting RPG is coming, Loose, hinting at a new title from Sierra Pioneer potentially named Loose. The right half of the page is dedicated to News Dynamite, keeping readers informed about Sega Saturn-related events. The main focus here is the second Virtua Fighter 3 3-on-3 tournament, dubbed the Sega Team Battle VF 3 Strongest Battle. Following preliminary qualifiers, This nationwide tournament takes place from August 15th to September 15th at Sega Direct stores, leading to a final battle on September 30th. The article outlines the 3v3 team battle rules and shows a photo of players competing fiercely on arcade machines. It highlights that the qualifiers are already underway, encouraging potential participants to visit Sega amusement spots. The section also lists various regular information features found deeper within the magazine, covering rankings, game results, and more, providing a comprehensive resource for Saturn fans. This page serves as a handy tear-out submission postcard for Saturn Fan Magazine, addressed to Tim Saturn Fan, number 17 in Tokyo. It's designed to simplify the process of submitting content for various features, including game scores, entries for the Cornhead Club, and other reader contributions like letters and illustrations. The postcard includes standard fields for the sender to fill in their address, name, contact details, pen name, and age, making it easy to participate in the magazine's interactive sections. This page kicks off with some hot news and featured releases. Check out the pickup section highlighting must-have items like the soundtrack CD for the King of Fighters 97, a memorial book for Angelique Special 2, and the highly anticipated CD for Vampire Savior, The Lord of Vampire, giving fans a taste of the game's killer music. There's a massive rundown on upcoming events, including the grand opening of the first Kyoto Joyopolis in September, packed with unique attractions like Touch and Feel, and It's Cute. Step into history at the world's first Print Club Museum showroom opening in Tokyo. Plus, get a look at the bizarre and fascinating Enemy Zero, the World of Kenji Ino exhibition, featuring unique visual experiences like images displayed through a strobe light effect. If you're heading to the Tokyo Game Show, don't miss the chance at the Sega booth to create your own portrait and see it appear in the game Baseball Tsuku. The page also covers the latest from the 35th Amusement Machine Show, showcasing the newest arcade tech. For those who love audio experiences, there's news about a radio drama based on the game Real Sound, a must-listen even if you haven't played the game. And for connecting online, AOL Japan is featured as a source for exclusive information, including game news. Finally, there's a Dynamite present campaign, offering cool prizes like phone cards and signed artwork from games like Angel Graffiti, which readers could enter to win. This page delves into the core of the gaming scene, with multiple rankings based on sales data and reader feedback. The top Saturn sales spot for several weeks running goes to ported titles like Last Bronx and Langrisser IV, highlighting the strength of established franchises on the platform, although Resident Evil also makes a strong appearance. The popularity ranking sees a tie at the very top between Sakura Wars 2 and Super Robot Wars F, showing the immense draw of these simulation RPGs. Other popular titles include fan favorites like Sentimental Graffiti, Grandia, and various fighting games like X-Men vs. Street Fighter and Virtua Fighter 3. The Most Wanted ranking reveals what readers are eagerly anticipating. Topping this list are games like Neon Genesis, Evangelion Steel Friend, and the King of Fighters 97, with the House of the Dead also ranking high, indicating a strong desire for both popular anime tines and arcade ports. The closing section highlights the final Most Wanted results, featuring titles like Dragon Force, Nights into Dreams, and Guardian Heroes, showcasing the enduring appeal of Sega's original IPs and other highly regarded games. This page kicks off with the Ranking Street feature, diving into reader feedback and game performance. The main highlight is the controversial sound novel, Real Sound, Cause No Regret, taking the top spot in the reader ranking, praised for its reliance on imagination over visuals. The game ranking table shows Real Sound leading the pack, followed by popular titles like Dokusei 2, Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 1, Bulk Slash, and Thunder Force V, alongside hits like Doom and NHL 97. Reader feedback for Real Sound is overwhelmingly positive, with 94% approval, commending its unique audio-only approach that forces players to use their imagination. However, 6% found the lack of visuals disappointing. Dokusei 2 receives strong praise for its character interactions and atmosphere, though some readers felt it lacked originality compared to its predecessor. Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 1 is also well received for its story and characters. The page concludes with brief messages from the developers of the top games, thanking players for their support. This page continues the Ranking Street feature, focusing on the games ranked 3rd through 6th by readers. Coming in at 3rd is Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 1, described as a visual novel that deeply explores the story of main characters Shiori Fujisaki and Shiori Kubota. Readers praised the detailed story and events, calling it a solid entry in the series, though some felt the volume of content was a bit light. Ranked 4th is Yukyu Genso Kyoku, a simulation/adventure game. Reader feedback highlights the charming characters and fun events, with some finding the communication and event skip options convenient for repeat playthroughs. However, some critical feedback noted the battle system was frustrating and progression felt slow. Taking the 5th spot is the action shooter Bulk /. Readers loved the fast-paced action and the ability to transform into a robot, praising the graphics and 3D shooting feel. They also appreciated the charming partner characters and responsive controls, though some felt the story presentation was weak. Finally, at 6th place is the classic shooter Thunder Force Versus. Fans were largely satisfied, particularly with the presentation during boss fights and the game's faithful continuation of the series style. While some wished for more variety in the visuals, the core shooting action and high-score challenge were well received. The overall impression from this page is a diverse range of genres gaining popularity, from dramatic visual novels to intense shooters, with players appreciating strong character elements and solid core gameplay mechanics. Reader rankings for games 7 to 12 are presented, alongside a call for reviews of upcoming titles. Real Bout Fatal Fury, 7th, is praised for graphics and character interactions, though some wish for faster loading. Cat the Ripper, 13 Detectives, 8th, is enjoyed for its atmosphere and puzzles, but 3 DCG models and item interactions were criticized. Side Pocket 3, 9th, a billiards game, received praise for its realistic physics but mixed feedback on the story mode and voice acting. Doom, 10th, was lauded for intense action and weapon variety, though some missed music. NHL 97, 11th, was praised for fluid goalie animations and penalty shots. Igo, 12th, is lauded for its balanced AI. Readers are encouraged to review upcoming games like Marvel Superheroes and Tekken 3D for potential inclusion in future issues. This page dives deep into the world of Sega Saturn rankings, presenting the real-time game ranking compiled from reader votes up until July 18th. This comprehensive list covers a vast array of titles, but the focus is highlighted on the continued high praise for Dokusei 2, following up on previous discussions about its reception. A particularly interesting section features a unique, women-only, real-time ranking Best 20, offering insight into the games most popular with female players. Topping this list is Sakura Wars, known for its compelling characters and story, followed closely by Even Burst Error and Dokusei 2. This distinct ranking reveals different preferences compared to the general list, emphasizing narrative-driven and character-focused experiences. The page also includes details on how the rankings are compiled, based on reader submissions. It's a solid snapshot of the Sega Saturn community's favorite games at the time. This page dives deep into the world of Super Robot Wars and classic mecha anime, starting with a fan participation corner where readers contribute ideas for the SRX unit, featuring art from series like Mobile Suit Gundam 0083 and Gunbuster. A new fan submission corner is also announced. There's a preview report on the High Energy Robination live concert, showcasing legendary robot anime singers such as Ichiro Mizuki and Hironobu Kageyama performing iconic themes. The page also announces the CD release for the Super Robot Wars F soundtrack, highlighting the single featuring Hot Blood for Courage and the Mazinkaiser theme, with the full album release slated for October. A special segment, the Super Robot Memorial File, provides a retrospective on the groundbreaking Mazinger series, focusing on Mazinger Z and Great Mazinger, their historical significance as pioneers of the genre, and their enduring legacy within the Super Robot Wars universe. Finally, a reader question section tackles interesting queries from fans, including a fun comparison of the scale between Daytarn 3 and Gunbuster. This page is divided into two distinct sections. On the left, it focuses on a fan-driven initiative called Project A, dedicated to creating a fan page for a title simply referred to as Etude. It invites reader participation, soliciting ideas and submissions for this upcoming fan corner, and announces the launch of a related homepage. The anime-style characters featured prominently on this side are associated with this Etude project. The larger section on the right is the second installment of a major feature highlighting, especially, entertainment software publishing, and showcasing the works and trends of 11 associated software houses. This segment provides a table of contents, listing various games that are covered in detail within this feature. These include titles like Baroque by Sting, Lunar, Eternal Blue by Kadokawa Shoten, Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Greed by Bandai, Grandia by Game Arts, Magic School Lunar, also by Kadokawa Shoten, Chaos Seed by Neverland Company, Silhouette Mirage by Treasure, and Slayers Royal 2 by Kadokawa Shoten, among others. There's also a brief explanation provided of what Especially is and its role in supporting developers. This page is a deep dive into the upcoming Sega Saturn port of Lunar 2, Eternal Blue. It features striking artwork of the main characters and discusses the transition from the Sega CD version, emphasizing that the developers aim to keep everything fans loved while fixing previous issues and significantly powering up the graphics and visuals. The article highlights that the Saturn version boasts completely redrawn graphics, from detailed backgrounds and town layouts to the battle screens. The visuals are a major focus, with significantly enhanced animation sequences, including entirely redrawn anime segments, contributing to nearly an hour of total visual content. It notes that the battle system retains the familiar chibi style seen in the Saturn remake of Lunar, the Silver Star, but with faster action. Overall, the page conveys excitement for this highly anticipated RPG, emphasizing the substantial graphical and visual upgrades being made for its Saturn debut, while assuring fans that the core charm and story of the Sega CD original are being preserved. Screenshots show off the enhanced opening sequence, an in-game event scene, detailed backgrounds, and the battle system. This page is a Q&A interview with Noritoshi Sugiyama, president of Vanguard, covering readers' questions about the Sega Saturn port of Lunar 2, Eternal Blue. The interview is broken down into sections: scenario, visuals, system, and other points. Sugiyama confirms that while the core scenario remains largely the same, some parts involving Lucia have been enhanced to be more effective and charming. Visually, they are focusing on smooth animation, aiming for high-quality character movement, although not all scenes will be full screen. There will be Cinepack scenes for important moments and character appearances. Regarding the system, major changes are minimal, keeping the standard Lunar feel. However, they are working to improve playability, including faster battle movement speed and better CD access times. They've also significantly increased the number of save points and are adjusting battle balance. A notable improvement is the item handling, where items can be stacked numerically, making inventory management much easier. The page also touches on music, using the original Mega CD tracks, the inclusion of minigames, 3 kinds, and the desire for fast transportation like the Valgar. They also mention a limited edition, potentially including setting materials. Screenshots show the enhanced in-game map, a battle scene highlighting character movement, and the improved item purchase screen at a shop. Key characters Hyro, Ruby, and Lucia are featured prominently. This page dives into the upcoming strategic simulation game, Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Ambition, a collaboration between Especially and Bandai for the Sega Saturn. It's highlighted as a highly strategic and free-form SLG centered on the Universal Century's one-year war, allowing players to experience the conflict from a global perspective, potentially even as Giran Zabi himself. The article emphasizes the game's depth, featuring detailed battle scenes, character dialogue cutscenes, and a wealth of events, including scenarios and scenes not previously shown in the anime. Screenshots display tactical map views, intense mobile suit battles, featuring iconic units like the RX-782 Gundam and MS-06 Zaku 2, and portraits of key characters like Giran Zabi, Char Aznable, and Amuro Ray. An interview with Bandai developers sheds light on the project's goals, focusing on creating a player-driven narrative for the war. The content teases that the game's ending might not be a simple victory, with potential outcomes like the appearance of Neo Zeon, adding significant replayability. The article also includes a profile of Giran Zabi and basic game information. This page continues the deep dive into Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Ambition for the Sega Saturn, emphasizing key strategic elements and presentation details. It highlights the importance of defending vital base points like Jaburo and Solomon, connected by supply lines critical for movement and reinforcement. The game features simultaneous battle resolution, where all unit movements and orders are executed before conflicts play out. The article proudly reveals detailed, pre-rendered battle scenes designed to recreate the intensity of the anime, showcasing action-packed combat between mobile suits with dynamic close-ups. For newcomers, a strategy mode is introduced, allowing the AI to handle detailed commands, letting players focus on high-level strategy and resource management. A major draw is the massive roster of characters from the One-Year War and its OVAs, featuring iconic pilots and mobile suits with detailed stats, ensuring a rich experience for fans. The developers discuss aiming for high replayability and player freedom, especially focusing on the Xeon perspective initially, with branching events and potential alternate histories adding significant depth. This page dives into the world of Grandia, revealing new details beyond the demo version. It highlights the progression players can expect after the initial segment, detailing key checkpoints in the scenario flow, including the treasure hunt, visiting the Seagull Restaurant, the Babal Memorial Museum, the Salt Ruins, the Underground Tavern, and Jin's house. A prominent feature is the Seagull Restaurant, run by Justin's spirited mother, Lily. The article explains that the restaurant serves as a base of operations, where players can gather information and explore the town. It also introduces the meal system, where the party can eat together after events or adventures, allowing for character interaction and information sharing. Lily is described as a former adventurer herself, known for her cheerful personality and cooking, well loved by the townsfolk. The page is filled with various screenshots showcasing different environments and events, such as the steam locomotive, a confrontation with a giant battleship, and the discovery of a mysterious statue, hinting at significant discoveries players will make. The game's visual style, utilizing polygonal backgrounds with 2D sprites, is also evident in the images. It mentions the game was playable at the Tokyo Game Show, allowing fans to experience these new sections firsthand. Overall, the page emphasizes the game's expanding world and engaging systems, presenting the characters and plot points that follow the demo. Grandia's early story involves visiting the Batil Memorial Museum and the Salt Ruins. Here, Justin encounters the Garlisle forces Nana, Mio, and Saki, each with distinct personalities and fighting styles. Nana is flamboyant, Mio is strategic, and Saki is aggressive. Later, Jin, an old adventurer, encourages Justin's quest, though obtaining a ship pass is initially problematic. The page also details helpful game features, like the area map and town leader. The Garlisle trio is presented as a source of comedic relief, potentially hindering or aiding the party with their often chaotic interactions. This page delves into Lunar Magic School, a new entry in the beloved Lunar RPG series, focusing on the magical education of protagonists Ellie and Lena. It highlights their journey to become full-fledged magic users at a floating island academy. Gameplay involves attending classes to learn new spells and then practicing them in battles against monsters. A key feature is combination magic, where Ellie and Lena can unleash powerful joint attacks. The page also introduces other characters they'll encounter at the school, including classmates and potential troublemakers like Rick, Cool, and Anh. There's even a section covering an interview with the developer about the game's progress and exciting aspects like animation and story. This page features an extensive look at the upcoming 3D RPG, Baroque. It describes a world enveloped in madness, born from a catastrophic event called the Great Heatwave. The game's opening movie dramatically depicts this warped reality. The protagonist, a young man who has lost all memory except for a sense of deep sin, heads towards the Neuro Tower, the key location believed to hold the answers to the world's collapse and his lost past. The tower itself is not static. Its structure changes with each playthrough, hinting at a dynamic map creation system. A key aspect highlighted is replayability, encapsulated by the keyword, how many times can you play? Gameplay involves exploring the ever-changing tower, engaging in strategic battles against bizarre creatures, and interacting with characters through mandatory conversations that shape the narrative. The page emphasizes how player actions and decisions directly influence the unfolding events within the game, suggesting a unique and compelling system where the tower's layout and the occurrences within it shift based on the player's progression and choices. Screenshots showcase the game's dark, surreal art style, the eerie environments of the Neuro Tower, and some of the strange inhabitants and structures found within. The next page dives deeper into the unsettling world of Baroque, specifically focusing on the bizarre creatures inhabiting the Neuro Tower and introducing some of the mysterious characters the protagonist will encounter. It highlights the unique Baroque creatures themselves, noting their striking, often disturbing appearances and diverse combat patterns, from the acrobatic gorilla who can steal items to the tank-like Tank Joe. The article reiterates the importance of purification, rather than just defeating these foes. We are also introduced to several key figures. Archangel Little, linked to purification. Eliza, who asks for beautiful water. Alice, who confronts the protagonist about his past. And the strange mechanical angel, Drive, Angelique. The page underscores the eerie atmosphere and the enigmatic nature of the tower's residents. Produced by Sting. This page features an in-depth interview with the developers behind Baroque, Mr. Mitsu and Mr. Tanaka, exploring the unique design and world of this dark RPG. They discuss the game's origins, noting it started as a PIEC project before moving to the Saturn, and touch upon the protagonist's amnesia as a key narrative driver. The developers explain that the combat system emphasizes strategy and careful item use over pure action, fitting the game's deliberate pace. The article showcases more of the game's distinct visual style, with concept art for several bizarre creatures, including the skeletal Necrotharia, the mechanical tank Joe and 17, and the upside-down Gorillos, providing further insight into the unsettling inhabitants of the Neuro Tower introduced previously. Atmospheric CG images of the tower's interior highlight the oppressive and mysterious environments players will explore. The developers also briefly mention the character design process and their interest in player feedback on the game's themes. Finally, there's a small note about a keyholder giveaway featuring Archangel Little at the Tokyo Game Show. This page dives deep into the strategic elements of Chaos Seed, specifically focusing on how to build and manage your underground cave system, or Senkutsu. It highlights room placement as a crucial factor for success in this dungeon simulation RPG. The article explains the basic principle of connecting core rooms like production, summon, and training rooms in a square formation for efficient resource flow. It emphasizes building numerous production rooms early on, and details how summoned creatures are key to transporting resources between rooms. Strategies for dealing with enemy invasions are covered, suggesting creating multiple paths to attack rooms to defend against intruders automatically. For larger, more complex caves, the guide discusses the importance of using warp rooms to quickly move to distant areas, and detection rooms to act as a radar, revealing enemy locations throughout the entire structure. The page also introduces 3 new characters who serve as rivals to the protagonist: Izanagi, an Eastern sorcerer, Suchin Shuru, a swordsman, and Tutenten, a spear wielder. Artwork and screenshots throughout illustrate the different room types, strategic layouts, character actions, and the new rivals, providing visual examples of the concepts discussed. The next page is an installment of the manga feature, Manga Guide to Chaos Seed, Sent from My Cave with Love. Continuing the story from the previous page, the protagonists arrive at the Neverland Company building in Tokyo. Determined to get back their lifelong employment contract, they force their way inside, causing a commotion, and demand to see Kashiwagimon. They then embark on a tour of the company, visiting various departments. They meet staff from planning, sound, and graphics. During their visit to the development room, they see game assets displayed, including a creature called Korbaku. They express frustration about the game's delayed release, blaming the staff. They also find a graphic staff member asleep on the job. The manga ends on a cliffhanger, leaving the question of whether they successfully retrieved their contract unanswered, with a "to be continued." The overall tone is humorous and chaotic, reflecting the game's title. This page dives deep into the climactic final stage, Stage 7, of Treasure's unique action game, Silhouette Mirage. It reveals the secrets of the ultimate confrontation with the rival character, Zofar, and highlights how the final stage splits into different paths based on specific conditions. The article presents 2 possible outcomes for the final battle. Pattern A details a confrontation with a powered-up version of Zofar, known as Sefer HaZohar. This form is depicted as a powerful, instinct-driven destructive force, showcasing screenshots of its intense attacks. Pattern B introduces an alternative outcome, where a new guardian angel named Sarah appears instead. Sarah is a creature of both silhouette and mirage attributes, employing diverse and tricky attacks. Large character illustrations accompany the descriptions of both Sefer HaZohar and Sarah, emphasizing their distinct designs. Beyond the boss battles, the page touches upon the narrative depth of the game, explaining how defeating these final enemies unravels mysteries and leads to a crucial choice for the protagonist, Shaina. This choice, presented in the World Peace is Entrusted to Shaina's Hands section, with accompanying screenshots of dialogue options, ultimately determines the fate of the world. The page promises that this detailed breakdown not only explains the final stage, but also helps players master the game's basic system, and even hints at an interview with the treasure developers themselves. A small section also briefly mentions a concept called Bug Dan, a program that enhances creatures. This page continues the discussion on Silhouette Mirage, delving into crucial game mechanics and offering insights from the developers at Treasure. It first breaks down 4 fundamental points to master the game. Point 1 emphasizes understanding enemy attributes, as striking with the opposing silhouette, blue, or Mirage, red, attribute is key to dealing damage, while matching attributes reduces attack power. Point 2 highlights the reflector ability as a powerful defensive tool. It not only blocks attacks of the same attribute, but also bounces back projectiles, potentially changing their attribute to damage enemies. Point 3 stresses the importance of collecting money dropped by enemies, which is essential for purchasing upgrades and items in shops. Point 4 advises strategic weapon usage, noting that different weapons have varying power and abilities that change based on your spirit level and the weapon's level. A section then details several unique weapon types like Sloth, Gluttony, and Capitas, explaining how their function and power evolve. The page features a commemorative interview with 3 key treasure developers, Masato Miyagawa, Masao Ukyo, and Koichi Kimura. They discuss the creation process, the inspiration behind the unique attribute system, the challenges of developing for the Saturn hardware, and their design philosophies for characters and game mechanics. The interview provides a deeper look into the creative minds behind this distinctive action title. This page provides a look into the future of Sega Saturn gaming, with announcements and developer interviews. The main feature confirms a sequel to Slayers Royal, currently titled Slayers Royal 2. An interview with developer Onion Egg details plans to enhance gameplay, story, and character representation, promising improvements that build upon the first game. Artwork and screens show familiar faces from the Slayers series, including Lena Inverse and Naga the Serpent. The page even invites fans to submit ideas for the sequel. A separate section interviews 5 developers with unannounced Saturn projects. These include Bits Laboratory working on a simulation game, Quintet developing a race game, Alpha System creating an RPG potentially called Requiem, Japan Art Media also developing an RPG, and CSK Research Institute working on a simulation title while providing technical support to others. This gives a promising preview of the variety of genres coming to the console. This page showcases an updated release of the tactical simulation game, Legend of the Galactic Heroes Plus. Featuring striking anime artwork of characters alongside spaceships, the game is highlighted for its enhanced polygon CG visuals and the inclusion of 36 voice actors to bring the strategic battles and story events to life. It's presented as a significant power-up from previous iterations, with an upcoming release planned for October 1997. Alongside this major game feature is the recurring Conehead Club section, capturing a festive summer mood. Within this segment, the free section serves as a platform for reader contributions. Sega Saturn fans share their personal stories and opinions on various games they're playing and enjoying. The discussion covers a range of titles, including adventure games like Etude and Requiem, which was mentioned as being in development on the previous page, simulation games, and sports titles, reflecting the diverse tastes within the community and offering glimpses into their gaming experiences. The page also includes a small manga comic strip and a panel discussing the importance of voice acting in games. This page features a vibrant illustration gallery showcasing fan art inspired by popular Sega Saturn games and characters such as Cyberbots, Resident Evil, Devil Summoners, Soul Hackers, Magical Drop, and Princess Crown. The Hall of Fame illustrations section highlights winning entries, recognizing impressive artwork based on titles like Ogre Battle, Grandia, and even Evangelion. The Kids Hope section provides a space for reader feedback on the Sega Saturn, discussing its technical aspects like 3D graphics and polygon rendering, alongside opinions on games like Resident Evil, and the anticipation surrounding upcoming releases. The cover prediction contest announces winners who correctly guessed the magazine's next cover, with mentions of games like Lunar, Eternal Blue appearing in reader predictions. Finally, the Conehead Club continues its community interaction, featuring reader contributions and commentary on games like Soul Hackers and Princess Crown. This page features the We Are Supporters corner of the Conehead Club, a fan section dedicated to cheering for favorite game characters. This time, 5 new supporter groups have been established or revived. The Imperial Guard Group celebrates Sakura Wars 2, mentioning the Opera Troop Communication Fanbook, and a radio show. The Grandia Valiant Knights shows support for Grandia, noting activity is picking up with demo discs. Dragon Force Friends Association focuses on Dragon Force, featuring character artwork. The EVA Complementation Committee is all about Neon Genesis Evangelion, discussing the card collection and minigames, with art of characters like Shinji and Asuka, and even Pen Pen. The Lunar Magic Guild features fan art for the Lunar series, including Lunar, Silver Star Story, highlighting characters like Althena. Further sections include the Langrisser Garden, celebrating Langrisser 2i, and anticipating Langrisser IV. Vampire Groovy supports the Darkstalkers series, mentioning Night Warriors, Darkstalkers Revenge, and Darkstalkers 3, with art of characters like Jeddah. The Hachiju Hachi Gakuen Classmates Corner is for fans of the dating sim Classmates 2, featuring artwork of its characters. Finally, Deneb's Pumpkin Shop is dedicated to Tactics Ogre, showcasing fan contributions and artwork related to the tactical RPG. The page is filled with fan enthusiasm, illustrations, and comments for these popular titles. This Sega Saturn Fan Magazine page showcases a vibrant community. Readers contribute artwork, especially for arcade titles like Virtua Fighter and Last Bronx, and dream of remakes like Treleia and Mobile Suit Gundam X Review. Fan art for Atelier and Puyo Puyo is also featured. A Q&A section allows staff to address fan feedback, including drawing techniques and age ratings. The page highlights the community's passion through art, requests, and interaction with the magazine. This page is a reader survey and present giveaway section for the magazine. Readers are encouraged to answer a variety of questions about themselves, their gaming habits, and their preferences for the magazine's content to enter a lottery for prizes. The survey asks about things like the reader's age, what platforms they own, what other magazines they read, and what kind of articles they enjoy. The exciting part is the list of prizes. 10 different Sega Saturn games are being given away to 50 lucky readers. These include popular titles like Super Robot Wars, Neon Genesis, Evangelion, Digital Card Library, J.League Pro Soccer Club, Wotsukuru, 2, DJ Wars, Samurai Showdown IV, Amakusa's Revenge, Machi, Tactical Fighter, Chaos Seed, Feng Shui Chronicle, Desire, and the fighting classic Dead or Alive. The page also provides guidance on how to evaluate games, covering aspects like character control, sound design, overall value, and originality, which helps readers structure their feedback on titles they've played. Applying requires filling out a postcard with survey answers and sending it in by the September 11th deadline. This page presents a comprehensive list of Sega Saturn software titles released up to September 4th, 1997, organized by genre. The list covers a wide array of categories, including fighting action, role-playing, simulation, adventure, 2D shooting, 3D shooting, sports, race, puzzle, mahjong, and other miscellaneous titles. It essentially serves as a catalog of the available Sega Saturn library at that specific point in time, showcasing the console's diverse range of games. There is also a section dedicated to reader presents, likely detailing prizes from the previous page's survey. This page offers a detailed guide to the game virus, specifically covering the progression and key points up to Disc 2. It provides a structured walkthrough chart to help players navigate the cyber world efficiently. The guide covers various locations, such as the Mars Base, Stand Headquarters, Zweinel Corporations, and the HistoryNet. Key tips include the importance of talking to characters repeatedly to uncover information, choosing between the two available operators, and utilizing combat training in the simulation grid to level up and acquire essential items. The page also highlights the first boss, Brutal, detailing its phases and weak point, and provides visual references for various enemies encountered in the game, along with maps for the simulation grid and HistoryNet areas to aid exploration. This page continues the in-depth guide for Virus, picking up from Disc 2 and guiding players through further sections of the game world, including ZweinelNet, CultureNet, FantasyNet, Stand HQ, and Lemuria. The guide highlights how player choices, particularly early on when deciding between the ZweinelNet and CultureNet paths, can significantly alter the story's progression. Key tips are provided for navigating challenging areas like the invisible paths in the FantasyNet, using items like the Ocarina, and knowing when to bypass optional tasks to advance the narrative more quickly, such as ignoring the map in Sacred Lake. A crucial strategy section details how to defeat tough ace enemies by hitting their weak point, the helmet, and avoiding fatal counterattacks. The guide also points out a critical decision point in the Lemuria Disco, where talking to different characters first branches the storyline. The page features a strategy guide for Boss B, focusing on saving a girl infected by the virus. The core strategy involves targeting the virus itself. Using the item Reform 25 is recommended for quick AP recovery during the fight. The boss has 3 phases, with HP changing at each stage, and her movement or form changes based on her current HP. The guide provides a table listing the HP for each phase. Additionally, the page includes stats and images for 2 enemies, Spitz and Terrawines, and provides helpful maps for the Waterfall Left Cave, Waterfall Right Cave, and Sacred Lake areas to aid exploration. This page provides an exciting pre-release report on the adventure game, Desire, highlighting its confusing and dramatic story just 2 weeks before its September 11th release. The article focuses on the narrative depth, showcasing dramatic screenshots and section titles that hint at character conflicts and mysteries involving characters like Al, Tina, Cheryl, Kazumi, and Kyle. The game is presented as a 2 CD adventure for 1 player, with its development nearly complete. Prominent visuals include striking character art, such as a full-body image of a character in a swimsuit. On the left side, the page continues the in-depth guide for Virus from the previous page, detailing routes through areas like the ReviveNet, Cyber Sanatorium, ResortNet, and Lemuria. It also includes boss strategies for encounters with the hated Red Claw and an infected priest, noting their weak points and recommended tactics, picking up the guide from Disc 3 onwards. This page features a reader response form designed as a postcard for submission to the Saturn Fan No. 17 Reader Present Application section at the specified Tokyo address. It allows readers to enter contests or provide feedback, requiring personal information like address, name, and phone number. A key part of the form is the game score table, where readers can presumably rate or comment on various titles from the issue. The list includes notable games such as Virus, the arcade classic remake Terra Cresta 3D, the competitive puzzle game Tokimeki Memorial Taisen Tokadama, the fighting game Marvel Superheroes, and the racer Scorcher, alongside other genre-diverse Japanese titles. The left side provides further entry details and space for indicating desired prize numbers. This page delves into the world of Saxware's adventure title, Desire. The spread focuses on the story arcs and key characters, offering a digest of the Makoto arc and teasing the mystery surrounding Reiko. Screenshots highlight pivotal moments, including Makoto's investigation, the complex relationship dynamics involving Kyle and Makoto, and dramatic scenes featuring Maltina, Sylvia, and Dr. Gates. Maltina is shown discussing the multifaceted nature of love, while the Reiko section hints at an explosion and enigmatic interactions. The page also features an interview with developers Mr. Fujita and Mr. Noguchi from Sexware. They discuss the game's transformation from its PC origins to the Sega Saturn, the challenges and successes of incorporating new technology and an anime aesthetic, the influence of artist Yuichi Shioda on the character designs and animation quality, and the deliberate inclusion and thematic importance of certain dramatic scenes, including the intro scenes, which they frame as integral to the narrative rather than gratuitous. Character art of Tierna, showcasing different expressions, newly drawn for this version, is also prominently displayed. This page previews Enix's first Sega Saturn title, Nanatsukaze no Shima Monogatari, Story of the Island of the Seven Winds, an adventure game where you play as Dr. Garp, exploring a mysterious island to complete a lost narrative. The preview delves into the gameplay system, outlining basic actions like jumping and interacting, movement via screen transitions, and how items are used from an inventory or held directly. It emphasizes that the story unfolds through player actions, interactions with island residents, and solving mysteries, including instances of dialogue or text input. The page also walks through the game's early story, covering the prologue where Garp arrives and finds a peculiar treehouse, and the first chapter introducing key characters like Kisuke, who helps by cutting grass, and Neef, who collects and names insects. Screenshots illustrate these moments, showing character models, environments like the treehouse interior, and gameplay elements such as the item menu and text input interface. The overall presentation gives a solid look at the game's charming art style and narrative-driven structure. This page provides a detailed look at the upcoming psycho-thriller adventure game, Maria: The Reason You Were Born. The article emphasizes the game's dramatic presentation, aiming for a television drama feel with realistic polygonal graphics that focus on expressive character faces and movements. The story centers on Maria, a girl suffering from dissociative identity disorder due to a traumatic past, and Takano, a young doctor treating her. The core gameplay involves uncovering Maria's lost memories through interacting with the environment and other characters, with the narrative unfolding across text, movie, and interactive movie segments. Player choices influence the branching story and lead to multiple endings. Screenshots showcase the character models of Maria and Takano in various scenes, highlighting the game's visual style and interface. The article also mentions the voice actors lending their talents to the main roles. This psycho-thriller promises a deep dive into the human psyche and the mystery of lost memories. The next page dives into the intriguing blend of racing and romance, with a report on Wanzigen Trial Love. This game is described as challenging players to a new kind of love battle by introducing new courses, cars, and events. The core of the game seems to be high-speed racing on simulated city highways like the Wangan, combined with dating simulation elements. A major focus is placed on the game's 9 heroines, brought to life by a cast of 8 talented voice actors. The page features vibrant character artwork for each girl, accompanied by photos of their respective voice actresses, giving players a glimpse into the personalities behind the characters. Gameplay screenshots showcase intense racing sequences, while text highlights unique features like the ability to go on drive dates with the girls, adding a personal dimension to the high-octane racing action. It seems like a unique take on the racing genre, adding relationship building to the thrill of the race. As a bonus, the page mentions a giveaway for autographed boards from the voice cast. This page delves into Digimon 2, a significantly powered-up game creation tool, highlighting its new features including a polygon editor. The article explains the process of creating an original shooting game step-by-step, using the suite of editors. You start with eTaro for designing 2D characters and backgrounds with enhanced color depth. Then, the new Polykichi lets you build 3D polygon characters. Otomaro is your music studio for composing BGM and sound effects. Finally, Kumiko-san brings everything together, allowing you to assemble your creations into a functional game, setting enemy placements and attack patterns. The package also includes 3 sample original shooting games, such as Ramsey, Biometal Gust, and Dio Peep, serving as valuable examples of what's possible. The developers express confidence that the tool is easy enough for beginners, while offering depth for more experienced users. The next page presents a 2-game feature. On the left, we get a look at Momotaro Duchuki, a board game-style RPG set in the Edo period. This entry is a power-up version, introducing new characters, events, and cards. The article highlights some of the unique events players will encounter, such as farmer uprisings due to hardship, a righteous thief distributing wealth, pitfalls that bring either divine or demonic encounters, and even a pilgrimage journey across the country. The screenshots show the colorful Edo-style map and various event scenes. On the right, the focus shifts to the fighting game Dead or Alive. This segment previews original elements and characters for the Sega Saturn release. It introduces 2 key fighters, Tina, the ambitious pro wrestler, and Bayman, the deadly professional assassin. The article specifically points out an exclusive new feature for the Saturn version: original costumes, including a fitting sailor uniform for Tina. Large character illustrations and numerous screenshots showcase their appearance and various fight moves, demonstrating the intense combat the series is known for. The next page features a look at 2 distinct games. On the left, we delve into Wizard's Harmony 2, a simulation game with exclusive content for the Saturn. It introduces a hidden character, Kyogetsu Maya, a half-devil girl who is a member of the Academy, voiced by the talented Junko Iwao. The Saturn version also adds 30 entirely new events, alongside updated graphics for some existing ones from the PlayStation release. Character illustrations are featured showing the new character and others in different outfits, alongside screenshots of some new scenes. Shifting to the right, we explore Assault Rigs, presented as a virtual world sports championship, played by controlling a battle rig. The core gameplay involves navigating arenas, destroying enemies, and collecting gems to unlock the exit and advance. Players can choose from 3 different rig types at the start, each offering varying performance in speed and armor. Weapons are found by destroying boxes in the levels, and while some have unlimited ammo, Others are restricted. The stages themselves are filled with various challenges and gimmicks, such as walls that emit electricity and moving floors, all designed to test the player's skill in their quest to become champion. Screenshots showcase the 3D combat, weapon pickups, the rig selection screen, and various stage elements. This page features a dual game review, highlighting a couple of unique Saturn titles. On the left is Finalist, a 3D shooting game praised for its visually striking explosion effects and detailed graphics powered by advanced rendering techniques. Players navigate complex, maze-like stages with varying objectives, battling enemies and collecting different types of weapons to upgrade their ship across 12 diverse levels, all while avoiding hazardous traps. To the right, we look at Wiz, a comical action game starring a charming rabbit magician. The gameplay involves guiding Wiz through tricky, item-filled mazes, defeating enemies with a spin attack, and utilizing various items to overcome obstacles and reach the goal. Stages are packed with fun, interactive elements, like switches, rockets, sleds, and platforms, offering a delightful challenge. This page features two distinct Saturn games, the visually impressive 3D shooter Finalist and the charming maze action game Wiz. The next page features two distinct gaming experiences. On the left, we have Darkseid 2, a visually striking adventure game renowned for its graphics contributions by H.R. Giger, the artist behind the look of Alien. Players are thrust into a dark murder mystery spanning both the real world and a bizarre, Gigeresque dimension, interacting with the environment using different cursor types. This sequel promises more of the unique blend of organic and mechanical horror. On the right, Last Gladiators Virtua 9.7 delivers a powerful pinball simulation. This updated version features 4 detailed pinball tables with realistic physics and varied themes, challenging players to master each round and score big. The focus is on authentic pinball action with intricate table layouts and rules, offering a highly replayable experience for fans of the classic arcade game. This page features two interesting software titles. On the left, we have a music crew drum dedicated to popular Japanese artist Chisato Moritaka. This disc is packed with her hit songs, music videos, interviews, and behind-the-scenes footage, allowing fans to explore her world interactively through clicking on the screen. It even mentions potential full-screen video playback with additional hardware. On the right is a board game adaptation of the wildly popular police comedy manga Kochira Katsushikaku Kameeri Kuenmae Hashutsujo, or Kochikame. This game lets up to 6 players take control of the manga's iconic characters, like the eccentric Ryutsu, the sophisticated Reiko, and the serious chief Ohara, each with unique traits drawn from the original work. The goal is to navigate the game board, set in the diverse Nakagawa land, dealing with various event squares that can yield money, points, or even trigger minigames or comical accidents, all while aiming to be the first to reach the finish line. It looks like a fun, chaotic experience, true to the spirit of the manga. This page dives into upcoming Sega Saturn software, continuing the Impression series. It highlights 4 distinct titles set for release. First up is Silhouette Mirage from Treasure, described as a treasure-style action game that will appeal to fans of their previous work. The reviews focus on the unique attribute switching system, light and dark, and the frantic action, suggesting it's a challenging and engaging experience. Next is Kochira Katsushikaku, Kameeri Kuenmae Hashutsujo, Nakagawa Land, a board game adaptation of the popular manga. It features CG maps and allows up to 6 players to interact with the manga's world and characters through various event squares and minigames. Reviewers note its comfortable pace and suitability for multiplayer fun. The page also features Desire, a visual novel by the creator of the acclaimed game Eve. It is presented as a story-focused adventure, with reviews emphasizing its narrative over potential system depth or explicit content, suggesting it's aimed at players who prioritize plot. Finally, Darkseid 2 is showcased, described as an adventure game with a dark and surreal atmosphere. Reviews mention the puzzles being difficult, potentially hindering immersion in the story. But note that playing with a guide can reveal the game's quality. Overall, the page offers a look at a variety of genres, from action to board games and adventure titles, giving readers a preview of what's coming soon to the Saturn. This page continues the Saturn software impressions, showcasing a diverse lineup of upcoming titles. First up is Wiz, a maze-exploring action platformer where you navigate intricate levels against a time limit. Reviewers found it somewhat derivative, but noted the challenging maze design, leading to mixed score opinions averaging around the mid-range. Next is Assault Rigs, a tank combat game focused on destroying enemies and collecting gems. Reviewers commented on the fast-paced battles and smooth movement, though opinions were mixed on the control feel and potential for disorientation in the levels. Then there's Digital Pinball, Last Gladiators vert 9.7, an updated version of the popular pinball simulation. This iteration is praised for its realistic physics and visuals, appealing strongly to pinball fans, and earning generally high marks from the reviewers. Also featured is Promidal Disc Volume 6 Yoshido Rishin, a disc featuring the idol Yoshido Rishin. Reviewers commented on her charm being evident, but suggested the content might be somewhat limited. The page also includes a reviewer roundtable discussion section, where they offer general impressions and revisit titles like Desire and Silhouette Mirage from the previous page, providing further thoughts on those games and other releases, including a mention of a music disc featuring Chisato Moritaka. This page dives into the technical side of Last Bronx, focusing on strategies for both CPU and versus battles, with a particular emphasis on the crucial wake-up system. The guide reveals how to unlock the powerful character Red Eye by simply viewing all 8 characters' self-introductions, noting that Red Eye's unique moves are significantly stronger. The page also offers quick, character-specific tips for tackling the CPU, highlighting key strategies like Yusaku's rushdown with specific combos, Lisa's reliance on her uppercut, Joe's continuous spin attack, Tommy's wake-up traps, Kurosawa's powerful strikes, Yoko's easy wake-up patterns, Nagi's reliance on her signature thrusts, and Zaimoku's focus on powerful throws and wake-up attacks. Additionally, it details how to unlock weapon switching by completing the game's classroom mode multiple times, and increasing the CPU difficulty by achieving a certain score in the dojo mode. The page teases a deeper dive into the vital wake-up system on the following page, promising to break down how it can be exploited in combat. The next page delves deep into the critical wake-up system in Last Bronx, analyzing its properties, strengths, and weaknesses. It details the 2 primary types of wake-up judgments and breaks down various wake-up methods, including the standard on-the-spot wake-up and the rolling wake-up, discussing their timing and strategic uses. The guide also covers more advanced options, like rolling into a back roll or a head spring, explaining when each is advantageous for either creating distance or maintaining pressure. A significant portion is dedicated to understanding the different down states characters can end up in: face-up, face-down, and variations based on orientation, noting how each state affects potential follow-up attacks and recovery options. Finally, the page provides crucial advice on evading down attacks and the subsequent opportunities for offense or defense, emphasizing the importance of understanding these intricate mechanics for competitive play. The screenshots illustrate the various wake-up animations and downed postures discussed. This page is packed with strategy guides for 2 very different Sega Saturn titles. First up, it dives deep into the technical fighting mechanics of Last Bronx, specifically focusing on understanding attack judgments. It meticulously explains the 5 different attack levels: high, mid, low, upper high, and mid-high, and how they interact with guarding and crouching. It clarifies the crucial distinction between high and upper high attacks, noting that upper high is specifically designed to hit opponents in a slightly bent-over state. The guide also touches on the unique properties of mid-high attacks, and the fundamental role of low attacks in breaking standing guards and even evading certain opponent moves. There's even an advanced tip for Zaimoku players, listing specific moves from other characters that cannot be parried. Below that, the page switches gears entirely to provide a comprehensive guide for the simulation RPG Langrisser IV. This section focuses on the game's heroine system, detailing how player actions and choices impact relationship levels with the 5 main heroines. It lays out the specific friendship point thresholds required to achieve a successful confession on different story routes. The guide then breaks down several key scenarios, outlining the choices available and how each selection affects the heroine's friendship values, helping players navigate the narrative branches to achieve their desired outcomes. Finally, there's a brief mention of a poster giveaway for Last Bronx. This page is completely dedicated to the strategy guide for Langrisser IV, continuing the deep dive into the game's relationship system. It presents a comprehensive list of scenarios, detailing the specific dialogue options available to the player, and how selecting each choice affects the friendship and affection levels with various characters, including Angelica, Rachel, Cherie, and others. The guide meticulously maps out the consequences of player choices across dozens of different in-game events and conversations, providing players with the information needed to navigate the narrative and build relationships effectively. This page continues the deep dive into Langrisser IV's strategy, focusing specifically on the intricate scenario branching system and revealing hidden items. It features a flowchart illustrating how player choices, particularly around scenarios 17 and 20, lead to three distinct paths: the A route aligning with Frederick, the B route alongside the Prince of Darkness Bowser, and the high difficulty C route, where you effectively make enemies of almost everyone. The guide details the specific conditions required to enter each route, often tied to dialogue choices, character alignment, and friendship levels with key figures like Angelica and Shelfaniel. It also outlines which characters join your party and who becomes your primary enemy on each path, giving players insight into the vastly different narrative experiences. Furthermore, the page provides a comprehensive list of hidden items available throughout the game. These aren't just lying around. You typically obtain them by visiting specific locations on the map, given by coordinates, during particular scenarios, or by selecting precise dialogue options during events. It's a crucial resource for players looking to maximize their party's strength and find all the secrets the game holds. The magazine stresses the importance of saving before critical choices, advice any experienced strategy RPG player knows well. This Langrisser IV guide reveals hidden stages with unique objectives, like visiting a hot spring or a monster gym. It details complete class change paths, from basic to powerful final classes, including hidden options like Avatar and D's Lord. Finally, it lists hidden commands, including a hidden shop for item stocking, a sound test, and a scenario select for replaying stages and character leveling. The guide is essential for completionists and serious players wanting to maximize their experience. This page showcases two exciting upcoming Sega Saturn titles. On the left we have Layer Section 2, known internationally as Big Darius. This port of the popular arcade shooter is highlighted for its stunning visuals on the Saturn, with text proclaiming, "Saturn does it, it's beautiful." Screenshots display intense boss battles and detailed environments, emphasizing the faithful arcade translation. It was priced at 5,800 yen and was set for an October 30th, 1997 release. The right side features Tilko Girl from the Blue Sea, a simulation RPG from TGL. Artwork introduces the main cast of characters, hinting at an adventurous story focused on fulfilling forgotten dreams. The game was planned for a November 1997 release at 6,800 yen, and included a launch campaign offering prizes like a camera and original telephone cards. This page features two distinct promotions for upcoming Sega Saturn titles. On the left is Those Who Hunt Elves, Hanafuda Chapter, bringing the popular anime characters into a Hanafuda card game format. Scheduled for a September 4th, 1997 release at 6,800 yen, the game promises original story scenes based on the anime and features the full voice cast from the TV series, including prominent actors like Tomokazu Seki and Yuko Miyamura. Screenshots show the Hanafuda gameplay integrated with character visuals. There's also a mention of an original Hanafuda/Trump card set as a present. Ultron published this title, alongside other games in the series, available on PlayStation and Saturn. The right side is dedicated to Yuno, a girl who chants love at the edge of the world. This section highlights an exclusive look at original artwork from the game, featuring a striking illustration of the character Yuno. It mentions a special 4-page feature within the magazine, showcasing this artwork, and providing the latest information from the developer, Elf. This page kicks off a special feature on Elf's new Saturn title, Yuno, a girl who chants love at the edge of the world. It showcases original artwork for the game, giving us a first look at some intimate scenes between the protagonist and the news anchor character, Asakura Kaori. The text emphasizes the detailed and delicate nature of these depictions, which are a key part of the 18+ rated adventure game. It notes that these scenes are integrated naturally into the narrative, not just thrown in gratuitously. There's also a profile image of Asakura Kaori, highlighting her beauty as a popular TV personality, contrasting her public image with the private moments shown in the artwork. The feature promises a deep dive into the world of Yuno through this stunning original art. This page continues the feature on Elf's Yuno, a girl who chants love at the edge of the world, focusing on the enigmatic character Kaori, exploring her complex personality and potential motivations linked to the geotechnics company seen in the accompanying images. It also serves as a farewell to the regular Elf information page, wrapping up segments like Live Up to Elf. Elsewhere, new gacha capsule toys based on characters from Kajusei, Underclassmen, are introduced, showcasing 5 charming chibi figures designed by the game's artist, Misaki Kazuya, set for a mid-September release. The page concludes with a report on the magazine staff visiting Elf's office, complete with photos, and a concluding message from Elf, thanking readers for their support and clarifying an image issue from the Uno feature. Premiere 2 reveals 2 new extra heroine characters, Tamaki Ishinabe and Hinao Higashiyama, selected from a fan audition. Tamaki, a strong-willed former classmate with culinary skills honed at a culinary school, is shown in a chef's outfit. Hinao, a somewhat absent-minded girl, is featured in various settings, including a flower field and a train. The page also showcases Sawadi, the blue mascot, and announces extra announcement winners, featuring Agichi Prefecture residents in the game. This directly involves fans in the game's development. This page shines a spotlight on Sega's AM3 division and various summer gaming events. It opens with an interview featuring AM3 manager, Mr. Oguchi, who discusses the future trajectory of the Sega Saturn and delves into the potential of network gaming, specifically mentioning Sega Netlink. He touches upon popular titles like Virtual On and Decathlete, and surprisingly, even brings up the PC hit Diablo in the context of network play possibilities. The page includes screenshots from Diablo and Virtual On, giving a glimpse into the games discussed. The page also covers recent events, including a Saturn Day event centered around the fighting game Last Bronx. It highlights the fan turnout, a mini-live performance by D Secrets, and attendees in cosplay. There's a screenshot from Last Bronx and photos of the event itself. Relatedly, there's news about a time attack challenge for Last Bronx, and reports on the ongoing national qualifiers for the popular arcade skateboarding title, Top Skater, complete with gameplay screenshots and pictures of competing players. Rounding out the page is the Soul of the Artist Corner, showcasing fan-submitted illustrations, including impressive artwork featuring characters from Last Bronx. Readers are invited to participate by voting for their favorite pieces. This page continues the coverage of the Sega AM3 national qualifiers for Top Skater by diving into the character file for Cookie, showcasing her design evolution through multiple drafts leading to the final look. It touches upon her background within a sporty family and her sister, PNUT, hinting at their contrasting personalities. Elsewhere, the page previews exciting upcoming arcade titles in the Arcade Hits Now section, mentioning the impending AM show. One highlight is Capcom's Super Gem Fighter Mini-Mix, a fighting game focusing on collecting gems to power up attacks, demonstrated with gameplay screenshots showing familiar characters in a super deformed style. Another title featured is Success's Cotton 2, a vibrant shooting game with details on its command shot system for tackling enemies and boosting scores, also illustrated with screenshots. The page is rounded out by a large, colorful illustration of the main characters from Cotton 2. This page delves deep into the development of the arcade hit, The House of the Dead, presenting official production materials directly from Sega's AM1 team. It offers a rare behind-the-scenes look at the creation of this popular zombie shooter. Featured prominently are initial character designs, showing early concepts for main characters like Agent Tom Rogan and his partner Feg, alongside intriguing early looks at villains and boss characters. Notably, there's information on Carol's early design phase, revealing she was initially considered as a playable character before becoming a supporting figure. The page also includes detailed production assets such as stage design layouts and camera work diagrams, illustrating how scenes were planned and camera movements were choreographed within the game environments. Concept art for background visuals and CG images provides a glimpse into the game's atmospheric settings and intense boss encounters. Even weapon design is covered, showcasing the early blueprints for the iconic .45 auto pistol wielded by the agents. Storyboards for the game's opening and specific boss sequences further highlight the detailed planning that went into the presentation. The content provides fascinating insight into the creative process behind one of Sega's defining arcade titles, celebrating the developer's commitment to crafting immersive experiences. This page is packed with useful tricks and tips for enhancing your Sega Saturn experience under the banner of Gameware Volume 5. It highlights Hyper Ultec, showcasing reader-submitted clever techniques for various games. Featured prominently are tips for classic titles. For Salamander Deluxe Pack Plus, you get the lowdown on a power-up command using directional inputs and buttons to boost your ship right from the start. Impact Racing players can find a list of passwords to jump straight to bonus levels, the final stage, or even gain invincibility. For visual customization, Kakyusei offers a trick to change the girl displayed on the title screen with specific button presses. In Tokimeki Memorial Taisen Tokadama, there's a section detailing how to select different character outfits before a match, adding a fun visual twist. Other games covered include Slayer's Royal, showing a method to increase your starting money, and Thunder Force V, mentioning the existence of a challenging master difficulty level that veterans will want to tackle. The page also touches upon accessing sound tests and other features in games included on Disc A of the collection, like Seikai Seifuku Kabushiki Gaisha and Barbara Konomi's Sujutsu. It's a great collection of clever little secrets to get more out of these games. This page features special variable stickers for Sega Saturn fans on the left, showcasing artwork from several titles including Sega Touring Car Championship, The Epic Azel, Panzer Dragoon RPG, Panzer Dragoon Saga, Photogenic, Friends, Seishun no Kagayaki, Last Bronx, and Princess Crown. The right side is a dedicated Coming Soon section, highlighting upcoming Sega Saturn games. The main focus is on Next King, Millennium Kingdom of Love, a dating simulation RPG with strategic elements where players, as a prince, must win the favor of potential princesses. The gameplay involves dice rolls to move around the kingdom and participating in events, dates, and even battles to boost relationships. It's noted this version is a port. The page also introduces the 12 distinct girls the player can pursue, showing their character art and giving a glimpse into their personalities. This corner previews some exciting diverse titles coming to the console. This page continues the Coming Soon section for upcoming Saturn titles. On the left, we get a detailed look at Jungle Park, Saturn Island. This adventure game, based on a popular PC release, lets players explore a vibrant island that transitions through all 4 seasons. The core gameplay revolves around navigating the island, solving mysteries related to the protagonist Saru, and engaging with a wealth of diverse minigames. The previews highlight several, including what looks like a baseball/rugby hybrid called Base Rugby, 6-men's tennis, a tactical shooting game called Chess Gun, and even piloting a bizarre craft in UCORN. It promises a fun, varied experience, with plenty to discover across the unique island map. To the right is RMJ, The Mystery Hospital, an intense horror adventure game from Bandai. It features a unique 5 senses button system to enhance immersion. The chilling narrative kicks off with a hospital explosion, forcing players to escape while dealing with a mysterious, invisible virus known as Lamia that infects companions. Directed by the acclaimed Satoshi Kon, the game promises a dark, unsettling atmosphere filled with strange events, grotesque imagery, and psychological thrills, as hinted by the eerie screenshots and the mention of madness. There's also a promotion for a development website, where fans could get insights into its creation. This Sega Saturn page previews upcoming titles. Message Navi is a CD-ROM magazine for connecting people, featuring user profiles and submitted content. Wings of Azure Sky Gotha World is a tactical sequel, focusing on Rika's naval guild and strategic unit choices. Tenant Wars is a board game where players build shops and businesses on a map, featuring real-world shops. Zero Divide, The Final Conflict is a 3D fighting game port, emphasizing destructible environments and potential Saturn-exclusive content. This page dives into upcoming releases with a diverse lineup. First up is Bisho Hanafuda Kiku, Michinoku Hito Koi Monogatari Special, a port from PlayStation. This game blends travel, photography, and Hanafuda card battles against beautiful girls, putting you in the shoes of a pro photographer aiming for a contest. Winning at Hanafuda gets you more chances to snap photos. Next, we have the Pradle Disc Volume 711 series, a fascinating set of digital photo albums releasing weekly. These discs showcase rising Japanese idols, offering a glimpse into future talent. Then there's the arcade port of Psychic Force, a dynamic 3D fighting game where characters take to the air in a cubic arena, unleashing powerful psychic abilities. Fans of Hironobu Kageyama will appreciate his work on the game's themes. For sports enthusiasts, June Classic Circa Sea and Loeb Club offers a realistic golf simulation featuring real Japanese courses and various game modes, promising true-to-life ball physics. Finally, the new Title Trends section gives us a rapid-fire look at various projects. We see mentions of the Star Bowling, featuring popular voice actors, a new entry in the long-running Detective Jinguji Saburo adventure series, a high school simulation game titled Seifuku, and the upcoming illustration book for the comic version of Evangelion, packed with art by Yoshiyuki Sadamoto. It's clear the Saturn platform was looking forward to a wide variety of genres hitting the market. This page is a comprehensive preview of the Tokyo Game Show 97 Autumn, highlighting the big move to the Makuhari Messe Convention Center, marking a new era for the event. The focus is firmly on anticipating the new titles that will be unveiled. The page features photos capturing the energy of past events, including stage performances and panel discussions, with a prominent image of the duo Take-Two, who are scheduled to appear. The preview emphasizes that visitors shouldn't miss the various stage events planned, promising a diverse lineup including industry talks, game quizzes, live performances, and auctions. It also encourages attendees to seek out the unique events happening at individual publisher booths, listing examples like mini-games, talk shows, and demo events hosted by companies such as Atlus, Konami, and Compile. Crucially for Saturn fans, the page includes a list of Sega Saturn games confirmed to be exhibited. This list covers a wide array of genres, from fighting games like X-Men vs. Street Fighter and Dead or Alive, to RPGs like Grandia and Wizardry, action titles like Gun Griffon 2 and Super Adventure Mega Man, and even adventure games and simulations. The excitement for the upcoming show and the wealth of new Saturn titles is palpable. The page also includes a helpful map showing the layout of the different publisher booths. This page lays out the exciting future for the Sega Saturn, with a comprehensive lineup of upcoming titles. It's presented like a release calendar, detailing games scheduled for release from August through December, plus some slated for late in the year or yet undecided. The calendar is packed with a diverse range of titles. We're looking at big hitters like Street Fighter Collection, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and Vampire Savior, Darkstalkers 3, bringing arcade fighting action home. There are also intriguing RPGs and simulations, alongside arcade ports like Layer Section 2, G. Darius, and Lost World, Jurassic Park. The list even includes unique Japanese titles like Sakura Wars 2 and Rondo of Light and Shadow. The calendar guide helpfully explains notations, like red text signifying a game's first appearance on this list, and blue text indicating a name change. Following up on the Tokyo Game Show preview from the previous page, this section details which companies exhibited which games at the event, correlating to the booth layout map. It lists major publishers and the games they had on display, or, crucially, available for hands-on play at TGS 97 Autumn. It shows what attendees could check out directly from companies like Sega, Koei, Hudson, and many others, confirming playable demos for titles across genres, from fighting games to RPGs and simulations, giving fans a taste of what's coming next. This page continues the look ahead at the Sega Saturn's future library, with another extensive list of upcoming releases, presented as a detailed sale calendar stretching from the upcoming months into early 1998 and beyond. It covers a wide array of genres, featuring everything from hard-hitting arcade fighting games like X-Men vs. Street Fighter and Vampire Savior, Darkstalkers 3, to deep RPGs like Grandia and Shining Force 2i Scenario 1, plus simulations and more unique Japanese titles. Prominently displayed is the announcement for the next issue of Saturn Fan, due out on September 12th. The surrounding text confirms the upcoming issue will dive deeper into the Tokyo Game Show 97 Autumn, highlighting impressions from the playable demos experienced at the event. At the bottom, a striking visual showcases key art for major titles expected towards the end of the year. This section highlights anticipated games like Tokyo Meijin High School, Tainted Moonlight Song, the epic RPG Grandia, and the popular dating sim Sentimental Graffiti, giving readers a glimpse of the character designs from these highly anticipated releases. A game index on the right side provides a handy alphabetical list of titles mentioned across the magazine for quick navigation. This page features advertisements for two upcoming Sega Saturn titles. On the left, we see a promotion for Okage designer Tsukurapan, puzzle game designer, Make It Pawn, a game that allows players to create their own falling block puzzle games. The ad highlights the character Elfa and mentions a reservation campaign offering a special Race Queen poster of the character. It lists the release date as October 23rd and the price. The core concept is empowering players to be designers. The right side promotes Silhouetted Mirage, a side-scrolling action shooter developed by Treasure. This unique advertisement features the faces of real children composited onto the game's characters. The text announces its release date of September 11th and describes it as a multi-attribute shooting game, hinting at the game's core mechanic of switching between two attributes, Shina and Gel. It also briefly references the Tokyo Game Show 97 Autumn, where the game likely had a presence, tying into content mentioned on the previous page. This page features a distinctive advertisement for Treasure's action shooter, Silhouette Mirage. The ad uses a surreal mix of real children's faces and the game's characters to promote the newly released title, developed by the renowned studio Treasure, and published by Especially. On the right, NEC Interchannel showcases their Sega Saturn lineup. Featured prominently is Graduationless, a racing simulation game set for a September release, with details about a limited special box edition. They also highlight two titles already on sale: Dukyusei, Classmates, a popular romance simulation, and Magical Girl Pretty Sammy, presented as a multi-scenario digital comic based on the Tenchi Muyo spin-off. The page also provides information about the upcoming Tokyo Game Show 97 Autumn, including the dates and location, tying into the anticipation for the event mentioned on the previous page.